Let's go wait for somebody. Hey, Tails. Unfortunately for today, I'm not in a good mood today either, so, like last week, I'm not in a good mood today either. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, I am not really in a good mood today. Like how last week was. At least with last week, I had a somewhat wholesome story to lighten the mood. I don't know how my mood's going to be lightened up for today, but we'll see what happens. I might as well just get through this just standing. Well, after this, I'd have to take a bloody shower. Sorry, my phone's having... my other phone is having technical difficulties. Hang on. One, two. Yeah, basically. Basically, I have to. After the shower. After the stream. Either that or knowing me, I'd likely forget about it by the time the stream's over. Okay, are we back? No, there's nothing really going on tomorrow. Apparently I gotta freshen up. But yeah, because of that, I'm not really in a great mood at the moment. Yeah, thanks for the concern. So, let's get to it. Come on. There you go. Just gonna. There you go. Extended RAM. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's just great. Make the mood slightly worse, controller. Why not? There you go. Alright. Huh. Forgot about that. It's nice. Nice to look at. So, if you all may So, as you all may remember in the previous stream, I finished the understanding side story, of course. So then, I did ask previously if I should continue this or if I should not continue this. The majority vote says that I actually should stop, but I really wanted to continue this, honestly. I really want to finish this. Like, get all the routes, get all the side stories. Essentially, 100% the game. As you can see, data collected. I'm only at 54%, as you know. If you could see where I was pointing, if you could even see it at all. But, yeah. Okay. Well, let's get on to the main game. I'm pretty sure, like, y'all can't really see it, likely, because it's probably grainy as heck, so... It's, like, extremely grainy. So... let's get to it. Oh, we're gonna go through the... Okay. We're gonna go through the same drill as we went through last time with the Sayori story. Only this time, the focus on this is Yuri. Since Yuri got the majority votes in the poll about whose route should I go for next, either Yuri or Natsuki, Yuri's votes got the majority, so I'm gonna go for Yuri. I'm gonna go for long, big brain words. Enter the name, of course. Yeah, I know. Name reveal. Shut. Not sure if you could see it. It's likely grainy, but you know. Let's go. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kinda works out because you've known each other for so long. I don't know. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me.
I overslept again! But I caught up with you this time!
Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you.
You said like you were thinking about ignoring me! That's mean, Joelle.
Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something.
Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you want to.
Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to the school. So this first time. Yeah. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute.
By the way, Joelle, have you decided on a club to join yet?
A club? I told you already. I am really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either.
That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year.
Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me.
Thinking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about it.
Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though.
Will you at least promise me you'll try a little?
Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that.
Yay!
Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Or the gaming club.
Hello?
Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom.
I thought I'd catch you all right coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed.
You don't need to wait up for me, if it's going to make it later to your own club.
Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know...
Know what?
Well, that you could come to my club.
Sayori...
Yeah?
There's no way I'm going to your club.
Me.
Sayori, president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to either the anime club or the gaming club.
Come on, please.
Why do you care so much anyway?
Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And I took you made cupcakes and everything.
Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay?
Yes, let's go!
And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
Everyone, the new member is here!
I told you, don't call me a new member. Eh? Sorry about that, the Wi-Fi blanked out a little bit. So, I'm going to history. Okay. I can't tell Sayori freaking Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
Everyone, the new member is here!
I told you, don't call me a new member! Welcome to the I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Joelle, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. Why does the Wi-Fi like to... I swear this thing wants to make my mood a little worse. I swear. Here isn't the best. So, just in case, real quick, I'm only gonna rely on the cellular data. Yeah, that should do it. Okay. See, I'm going to... Data. Thank you. Okay. So hopefully the Wi-Fi doesn't die out on this new phone that I'm currently streaming on. Hopefully. Do some readjustments. Hello, bootlaces. Welcome to the stream. And it's okay for being late. I was kind of in a bad mood at the start. So, just in case, I'm going to go back here and read. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club.
Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet the both of you.
And it sounds like you already met Monica. Is that right?
That's right. It's great to see you again, Joelle. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica.
Down, Joelle. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes.
Hey, I made them. I'll get them.
Sorry, got a little too excited.
Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Yeah. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes, decorated to look like little cats. The are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make the ears. So cute! I had no idea you were good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Saria grabs one first, then Monica, and I follow.
It's delicious!
Saria talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thanks, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for, you, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's strange logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. Sorry, here's a cupcake monster confirmed. Natsuki, don't say with a full mouth. Okay. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. Hold up. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy the tea. Though I honestly prefer brisk iced tea, but I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was honestly afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by the foot by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Well, Monica, I am surprised. Hardy har har. I see you, bootlaces. Hardy har har. But Monica, I am surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member or for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader in the debate club last year? Well, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. And yeah, what Bootlace said, I didn't accomplish that in the main game, of course. But yeah, this is a alternate route. This is going to be the Yuri route of this ordeal. Sorry, Tales of Bootlaces, but majority vote said Yuri. But second best majority vote.
Monica really is a great leader.
Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone?
Yeah!
We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone's enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. They'll probably come in the next stream. Well, for these bunch of streams, I'm going to be going through the entire Yuri route, and then afterwards will come the side stories with her, and then the Natsuki stuff afterwards. So, don't worry, that'll all come soon in the future.
So, Joel, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change.
What am I saying?
I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyways, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in the world is equally impressive.
Well, I'm pretty sure you might like the Railway series. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it was obvious, by the way her eyes light up, she finds her comfort in the world of books, not necessarily people. Yeah, Tails used to read a lot as a child with lost interest. I wouldn't say that, Bootlaces, I wouldn't say that. Hush.
But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well.
Well, then I'm sure you'll like this game.
Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own imagination and completely throw you for a loop? Anyways, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Not Dwayne Johnson the Rock, just a rock.
Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But the story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment.
Ugh, I hate horror.
Oh, why is that?
Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind.
That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki?
What? What gives you that idea?
You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were writing a poem called
Don't say it out loud! And give that back!
Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are.
Sari sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I am not cute! Natsuki, wait a minute, wait. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Okay, real quick, okay. Too much jump scares. Actually scared. Oh. Proceeds to go Super Saiyan. Yeah. But, Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a confident writer yet.
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing them the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you could share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share her.
I guess it's the same for Yuri. Also, yes, Tails? Sounds urgent. I'm waiting here. Well, continue.
Aww, I wanted to read everyone's poems.
We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Joelle? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, though. There is still one problem. One itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny little problem. Eh? What may that be? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Yuri may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Joelle... You all... There's a book I remember reading a lot and loved reading it too, and it's... No. Yeah, I remember. Like, for my case, that Tales is saying, the Boxcar Children was definitely... Yeah. The Boxcar Children was definitely one that I loved in elementary. It was just a good book. You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful ladies. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join this literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes all light up. Yes, I'm so happy! Siri wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Oi! 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 You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came here for the cupcakes, I'd be super mad. Then let's make it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we all can share. Monica looks over at me once more. Joelle, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Joelle, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? Oh, that's right! Sayori and I never really walked home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs, like this one. Well, sure thing. Might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club of all places? Perhaps I'll have a chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Okay, alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess this starts with writing a poem tonight. Okay, I just gotta find big brain words. Okay. It's time to write a poem. Pick words that you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. I'll choose big brain words. Inferno. Ambient. Judgment. Unrestrained. Wonderful. Portrait. Vitality. Incapable. Sensation. Disaster. incongruent, uncanny, romance, fickle, atone, wrath, extraordinary, unending, despise, agonizing, that's funny, Tails. Hello again, Joel. Glad to see you didn't run away from us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I'll at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club today. I was the last to come in, so everyone else was already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Joel. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you are not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me that you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, and last year too. I don't know if you're planning to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for somebody who keeps her manga collection in a cleverum. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
Don't worry, guys. Joel always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room.
How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. But then again, the way that your room is, it shows your state of mind. Yeah, I'm legit looking around my room for a little bit, and seeing that my room is messy too. If I were to say anything about you, Sayori, about your messy room, then I would be a straight up hypocrite. And also, you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous.
How come? You and Joel can become good friends too.
Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into.
Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know?
Wait. Me? Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do?
Eh? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking.
I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright, well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I don't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book that she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Well, Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of the book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah. Shoot. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing that I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, but how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Ah, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant! I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There is something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to just let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. And yeah, that is funny. She caught me at 4K. Ha, sorry. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it is about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experimental prison. And while her life was in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, but so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Joel? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kind of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange, new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the worst, they made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm not rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things and writing fill my thoughts, it kind of forgets to pay attention to other people. So, I'm sorry if I end up as saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is just listen. It's a literature club, after all. That is true. In fact... What's CB? What's CB? What's CB? What's CB exactly? What CB are you talking about here? That was an autocorrect. Okay. Okay, autocorrect. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. I'll just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry again. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or something. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understood what Yuri meant about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she was reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold the book more in between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in can't English. I can't English for squat. I know I passed my English class, but I don't know if I can word anything good anymore. Frickin' thing. You know that I can't really stand up for long anymore. Wait. Okay, gotta be careful how I step. Jesus. Okay. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Hey! Is this CG again? Hey! Yuri takes her left arm to the left side of the book, between her thumbs and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Eh? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels kind of like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting over the page, letting it flutter over to her side of it, as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But, Joelle, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kinda cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. That meeting started shaky, ended shaky. Yeah. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up and make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration. Excuse me! That was just a yawn. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That was a yawn. I couldn't really find much inspiration, since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sari and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sari is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Okay, so just check it. Okay, 30 minutes left. 30 minutes of stream left to go. So who should I go for? Okay, Tails says Yuri. Well, since Bootlaces isn't here yet, I guess I'll just go for Sayori here. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend, after all.
This is a good poem. Are you sure this is your first time?
Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. But that's why it's impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't take it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. This reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the clubroom. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Joel. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only real good people do.
Thanks, Yuri. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all that.
Yeah, and I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then.
Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We shall see about that.
Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? And look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad.
I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No! A little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. And also, did an E2 tank engine manage to crash into your house while you're eating breakfast?
No.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say it like it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. It's a Sayori poem.
Really?
Yeah, especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you were late to school.
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Say about what? But yeah, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyways, thanks for showing me.
That was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. Who should I show my poem to next? Natsuki it is. Joel, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Okay, that's a bit harsh. Well, wait. What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. It all starts somewhere, am I right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Wait, well, to each their own, I guess. Anyways, voice crack. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'd probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. Why? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because. Not Dr. Seuss, but I can make a story about my if. Okay. Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to just write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who should I... Okay. Who should I show to next? Alright, Monica it is. Hi, Joelle. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. I'm glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright. I'll keep that in mind. What? Hey, hold on, what, Tails? Try to give me context for the pretty buns thing. Is that about Yuri or Monica? Who are you talking about here for pretty buns? Oh boy! Oh boy! Woo! Oh boy. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Joelle. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it is that sort of embarrassment that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Joelle. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. It's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyways, you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. A confident facade, as it was commonly called. Just check it. Okay. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See? The direction of the speckle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? No, I wasn't there. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forward into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Bruh, Tails, bruh. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback from. It's okay. Yes, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone's better friends with each other. Anyways, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper, then tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I... Oh, of course. Yuri. Last one. Of course. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten up. There you go. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You didn't really do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Huh, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once she finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammer is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri was apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. You mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by a sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm's breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. I can't read that much cursive. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing... Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Hoo-hoo. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Joelle. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose he did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. Check time. 6 minutes. Peeks into the screen and whispers, and don't forget to save your game. Who knows, you might run into a skeleton man who loves spaghetti. Hardy har har, Tails. Hardy har har. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. That is impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Joel. Me too. Phew! I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all, as I said to myself for the upteenth time. I sigh. Oh my god. You'll never catch me, coppers! I guess that's what I get into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They're gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it actually didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Joel did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something that particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Joel liked my poem too, you know? He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... Ooh. You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Joel appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose chest magically grew a size bigger as soon as Joel started showing up. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned toward me, as if they just noticed I was just standing there. Joelle, she's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? That meaning could jump out at the reader, not figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Joelle. Wait, There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Joel? Well... I get dragged into this in the first place. It's not like I know anything about writing. Look. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think I'm more highly of me. So of course I'm going to be... Usually in this situation, I would actually ask Sayori to help, actually. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori?
Eh?
Yeah, everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this?
Joelle.
Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop!
Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because he gives...
Okay, there's the alarm. Okay. I guess after Sayori's sentiment... So I guess after Sayori's little sentiment here, I'll call it a day.
They're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting?
Because...
Well... Also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's chest is the same as it always was. Big and beautiful.
I'm sorry, I just can't. I just can't. God, I just can't. I just can't. I can't take it seriously. God. Okay. Sayori stands up triumphantly. Monica stands beside her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. And with that, I guess we'll call it a day for this episode. Wait, no, not there. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, let me read what's left here. Okay. So, with that, we're going to call the stream out on this. We're going to call the stream out from, like, as it is. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to see more. And, thank you guys for watching the video once this eventually becomes a video for a stream. If you guys bother to watch this. I'm still I'm basically just in neutral right now. I'm not necessarily in a bad mood per se. I'm just more neutral, if anything. Yeah. I guess that's basically it, so... Hope Bootlaces, Tails, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I can tell that Bootlaces loved it, but... And for you guys that bother to watch the video all the way to this point, thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to see more. I am JFC Studios, and I'm gonna go take a bloody shower, so see you guys in the next one.